So if you own any Ryobi tools, you definitely should watch this video. The reason why is Ryobi makes 3 levels of their battery. The first level is the standard lithium. From there, you upgrade to the Lithium High Performance, and the top of the line is the Lithium High Performance Edge. Anyway, today we're going to determine, is it worth spending the extra money for these high-end batteries over the standard lithium battery? So all 3 batteries we're going to check out today are from the Ryobi ONE Plus system. This is basically an 18-volt system that includes over 300 tools, all the way from shop tools to yard tools and everything in between. So the first battery we're checking out is right here. This is called the Ryobi Lithium. This is basically their bottom of the line battery. Now again, this is an 18-volt battery like every Ryobi ONE Plus. It's got this like unique stem on here. You'll see them all over the place. It's been around for about 30 years, but now they basically use only lithium batteries. So this battery right here sells for $99. It's a 4 amp hour battery, which means it can provide 4 amps of power to a tool for 1 hour. Now we'll get into the details of the math a little later. So we're moving on to battery number 2. It's right here. This is the Ryobi 18-volt ONE Plus high performance lithium battery. You can see it written right there. So this is the middle of the road as far as the batteries we're testing today. Again, you can see it's a 18-volt 4 amp hour battery. Seems kind of like what we looked at before, right? So the high performance in this basically means maybe the cells are different from the standard lithium, but they actually have an upgraded BMS, which is a battery management system built right into this battery. There's actually some circuitry in there which controls how much power it gives. It should also lengthen the life of the battery and keeps the battery cool as you use it. So we're going to test all that later, but this is battery number 2. Now let's move on to the big dog. So we are moving on to battery number 3, the big dog. This is the top of the line from Ryobi. It's an 18-volt ONE Plus 4 amp hour battery. It's called the Lithium High Performance Edge, and it's right here. So this battery has some very unique features compared to the other 2 batteries we looked at today. It is also priced the most at $130 for a single battery, and the unique thing about the big dog right here, it is actually just a touch bit smaller than the standard lithium and the lithium high performance, and it also weighs less. But that's not all, guys, because this has a very unique lithium cell inside. It's called a tablet cell. Those cells are supposed to give you longer run times, longer life of the battery, more power, and run the battery cooler. So Ryobi has made some lofty claims about these batteries, and we're going to test it, so don't worry about that. We're going to put all 3 batteries against each other and see if we can tease out any of those numbers that Ryobi suggests we would see. Now, before we do that, I promised you some math, and I'm a man of my word, so here it is. Basically, the way these batteries work is this. First of all, they're 18 volts, so that doesn't change. They're also all 4 amp hours. Now, what does that mean? That basically means if you have a tool like this fan right here that on low speed draws 4 amps, it means this battery will power that fan for 1 hour. Now, if you put the battery on high speed, and let's say theoretically high speed draws 8 amps, it means this battery will now power it for half an hour. Pretty simple stuff when you think about it. All right, guys, so we've heard all the lofty claims from Ryobi. Now it's time to actually find out what's going on here. Let me show you what my test setup looks like. First of all, I've got a Ryobi leaf blower right here that I will set on the same speed for all 3 batteries as I test them. Now, all 3 batteries will be fully charged. I'll top them off. And from there, basically, the blower will blow this wind meter right here. The wind meter will log the wind speed over time. And from there, we should be able to extrapolate the performance of all 3 of these batteries and find out if Ryobi's kind of like hyping this stuff or if it's real. Here we go. While working on this project, I was reading all this Ryobi marketing about how their batteries are different. I mean, they are really seriously huge claims to the point where they say the Edge battery, the top lithium battery you tested today, is 40% more powerful than the standard lithium. So in your mind, you're like, this is going to be great. I'm going to see like crazy difference in performance in these batteries. Well, science is still science. These marketing departments, these companies, including Ryobi, want to ignore science and would love a battery that's really pretty and got really decorative designs on it to be more powerful. The truth is, if you've got an 18-volt battery and it's rated at 4 amps, it doesn't matter what you write on the battery. And I actually have evidence of that right here. Now, don't get me wrong. This is actually the full scale right here. You can see the 3 lines right there are the different batteries and how they performed. I'll throw that up on your screen there so you can see it better. But you can see there's not a significant difference there in power. Now, I do have a zoom in. I'll throw that up on the screen as well for you here. When you zoom in, you do see some differences in performance. There's some things on this page I'd like to talk to you about. First of all, the Edge did run the blower at a higher speed, higher than the other 2 batteries. So that's cool. So it did do that, which is great. Now, when I say higher, I'm talking about 3 miles per hour. It wasn't really significant, but what's interesting is it also ran the shortest amount of time. So here it is, guys. You've got a volume of liquid. If you drain it fast, you've got the same volume no matter what. Now, what I'm talking about is, think of the liquid is in power in that battery. If you put a big hole in there and draw a lot of water out, it will drain out fast. If you put a small hole, it will drain slow. So what I'm trying to drive at here is the Edge battery can throw more power out, but it won't run as long. And you see that the Edge is actually the first battery to die in timing. The second is, you can see the red is the high performance, and that ran longer than the Edge. And of course, the lithium right here ran the longest. In fact, it ran another minute or so. Now, of course, it wasn't running as fast on the blower. So you kind of always got to strike that balance between speed and power and runtime. Speed, power, runtime. So today we set out to determine, is it worth spending more money on some of the Ryobi high-end batteries beyond their standard lithium? And clearly, based on our test here today, we saw there's very negligible difference in performance of all 3 of these batteries, the lithium, the high performance, and the high performance Edge. So clearly, my advice to you, and this is very clear, is definitely stick with the Ryobi lithiums. Now, the good news is this was priced at $99 in my video for the single, but right now there's a special at Home Depot where you get 2 of these batteries, 2 18-volt 4 amp hour batteries for $79. So if you have any concerns about battery life, battery run times, you've now got 2 batteries for less than you would spend on a single high performance battery. That sounds like a good deal. Anyway, if you're interested in that deal, there's a link right down there below. Hit the view products button and you'll be taken right to those batteries. I don't know how long this sale goes on, so I definitely jump on that deal right now. Now, when you're done with that, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below about what you think about my testing practices here, you know, what you thought overall, and whether or not you were able to jump in on that deal. When you're done with that, guys, you don't have to go anywhere because I've got a great video for you coming up, and I'll leave it for you right there. It's really easy for you. Just click that box over there. See you guys around.